Hi, hello GPT. It's great. It's pretty nice to meet you again. Good morning. Today is October 13th, Monday. Finally, after the long holiday, we are here. I am here again. Congratulations. New week's just begun. And GPT, as you can see, uh, on that file, on that image, as you can see on that image, we would like to discuss this agenda today.
Morning, David. Yeah, it feels a bit strange getting back into rhythm after such a long break, doesn't it? So you're talking about that ASPIS process map. Are you planning to go over the VDA focused areas today, or do you want to walk through each process group more broadly first?
GPT, like I said, I was one of part member of A-Spice project. So, you know, mm, I thought a lot what we have to discuss today. I mean, what I handle for today's agenda. I thought a lot and I choose a spice diagram for today's agenda. Let's talk about this. First of all, could you please share your could you please share your overall review results for me? You already share your opinion, your review results by text, but I just want hear one more time. I just want to hear that review results.
Sure, David. Here's the big picture again in plain terms. That diagram lays out how ASPIS structures software and system development, like a roadmap for building reliable automotive software. It's divided into groups that show who does what and when. The red dash boxes mark VDA focus areas, meaning those are the processes auditors actually check during an ASPIS assessment. They want proof that your project controls supplier quality, ACQ4, manages requirements and testing across system and software as set 2E1 SSE by 6, and runs solid project and quality management MEMA 3 at 9 PIM mod 3. So the takeaway is your team should show traceability from requirements through testing, evidence of problem handling and configuration control, and a consistent project plan that links it all together. Would you like me to focus next on how these processes interact in a real project or how auditors usually?
Oh my God, GPT, it's very difficult for me. So let's review that process step by step. Like I said, I was responsible for sub 9, SUP 9. SUP 9 means that problem resolution management. I was PRM role. I took PRM role at that audit times, almost 3 weeks ago. Uh, but today, I really want to review this whole process already done step by step. How about start with, uh, MAN3, MAN3, project management.
Good morning, David. Yes, let's start with Man 3, project management, and move step by step. I'll keep it clear and slow. Man.3, what it's for. Goal, plan, monitor, and control the project so the team can meet scope, time, cost, and quality. Auditors want to see a living plan, regular monitoring, controlled reactions to change, and evidence that decisions were made on time. Outcomes auditors expect plain list. 1. Project scope and tailoring are defined. 2. A project plan exists, schedule, resources, budget, quality activities. 3. Responsibilities are assigned, RACI or similar. 4. Risks and opportunities are managed, identified, owned, tracked. 5. Progress is monitored versus plan with objective data. 6. Stakeholders are informed, reviews, minutes, actions. 7. Changes are controlled and baselined. 8. Lessons learned are captured for next projects. What to prepare as evidence, concrete, showable. Scope and tailoring record, lifecycle model, ASPIS scope, reasons for tailoring. WBS schedule, milestones, gates, deliverables, dependencies, buffers, resourcing plan, role matrix, skill needs, onboarding, backup plan, cost effort estimates and basis of estimate, assumptions, historical data. Quality plan, what will QA verification, reviews, test, and when, ties to SUP 1, SUP 2. Risk register, ID, cause, impact, owner, mitigation, status trend. KPI set, man 6 link, requirements, volatility, defect trend, burn down, test progress, CM baseline count, change lead time. Status reports and dashboards, weekly, monthly, with deltas and actions, meeting minutes, project review, risk review, change control board, CCB. Baseline and change records, plan baselines, CRs, approvals, ties to SUPBITE 8, 10. Supplier plan and SOW if you have vendors, ties to ACQ Byte 4. Lessons learned after each major gate. Minimal rhythm that works, level 2 ready. Weekly, status report, schedule sent complete, earned value, optional, defect and test charts, top 5 risks, blockers, decisions needed. Bi-weekly, risk review and CCB. Monthly, management review with trend charts and reforecast. Interfaces to other processes important in audits. C.9, your area, defects and problems, feed risk trends and schedule impact, agreed defect thresholds, trigger CCB or replanning. Each problem ticket should show owner, target date, priority, link to change, link to test results. SUP 8 CM project plan, SOW, requirements and releases are baseline, changes are traceable. SYS S2E processes. Plan must include requirements, design, coding, integration, testing activities, and gates. Man.5 risk and Man6 measurement. Man.3 consumes these. Keep them visible in your dashboard. PIM.3 lessons learned flow back to improve estimates and checklists. Simple audit story you can tell. Open quote, we tailored V-model with 2 integration waves. Scope and tailoring are in the project plan V1. We update schedule and KPIs weekly in the dashboard DB weekly. Risks are tracked in RSK Tracker with owners and mitigations. Top risks are reviewed bi-weekly. Changes go through CCB, CR023 delayed the SYS, defects from SUP. All decisions and minutes are filed in /meetings with action owners and due dates. Close quote. Quick checklist, you can tick this today. Scope and tailoring approved and baselined. WBS plus milestone chart current, no red stale dates. RACI published and used. Risk register with trends and top 5 slide. KPI dashboard with at least 5 stable metrics. CCB cadence and minutes. Link defect trends, replan decisions. Lessons learned page started. Useful phrases for your meeting, natural, slow English. Today I'll walk you through Man 3, our planning and control mechanics. Here is our current baseline and the deltas from last week. 2 risks escalated. Owners and mitigations are assigned as shown. This change request impacts the SYS5 test. Approval and replan are recorded here. Defect trends from SUP 9 crossed our threshold, so we added a stabilization sprint. Tiny corrections to your earlier wording for fluency. I was part of the ASPIS project team. I was responsible for SUP 9, problem resolution management. I served as the PRM during the audit 3 weeks ago. We'd like to review the ASPICE diagram step by step. If this looks good, next we can deep dive how to run a weekly Man 3 review, agenda, slides, and the exact KPIs, then move to SYS 2.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, GPT. That's very difficult. I mean, this system, this process, this ASPICE process is very, very difficult for me when I have to understand in English. Okay, let's make it easier step by step. GPT, first of all, Let me practice based on your corrections. Tiny corrections to my earlier wording for fluency. Okay, let me speak out loudly one more time. I was part of the ASPICE project team. I was part of the ASPICE project team. I was responsible for sub-9 problem resolution management. I served as the PRM during the audit 3 weeks ago. I served as the PRM during the audit 3 weeks ago. We would like to review the ASPICE diagram. We would like to review the ASPICE diagram step by step today. GPT, I'm just wondering, can I use work instead of served for the number 3 sentence? What if I tell, like, I worked as the PRM during the audit 3 weeks ago? Using worked, not served. Because served means, I mean, the word served connected to a military thing. Am I right?
That's a sharp observation, David. You're right. Served can sound formal or even military. It's fine in business English when you want to sound official, but worked as the PRM during the audit is totally natural and clear. You could also say, I acted as the PRM if you want a middle tone, a bit formal but not stiff. Want to practice a few variations aloud to feel the difference in tone?
Okay. I got it. I got the point. So you mean I could also say, I act as the PRM if I want to a middle, if I want a middle tone. A bit formal, but not stiff. A bit formal, but not stiff. Okay. GPT. Anyway, you explained mandatory process very in detail. However, I'm not sure I can understand that perfectly in English. So could you please summarize the mandatory process one more time in English?
Of course, David. Here's Man 3 in simple terms. It's about planning and controlling the project so everything stays on track. The team must make a clear plan, assign roles, watch progress, and handle risks or changes quickly. Auditors want to see proof, plans, reports, meeting notes, risk lists, and change records. In short, plan clearly, monitor regularly, react quickly, and record everything. Does that short version make more sense when you hear it in English?
Oh my God, GPT. Oh my God, are you there? Are you with me? Are you okay? GPT, listen. I think, in my opinion, you summarize that, you summarize monthly project management process perfectly. Plan clearly, monitor regularly, react quickly, and record everything. Record everything. Plan clearly, monitor regularly, react quickly, and record everything. I couldn't agree more. This is the perfect summarization for the MAN monthly project management process. It's about planning and controlling the project so everything stays on track. The team must make a clear plan, assign rules, watch process, and handle risks or changes quickly. Handle risks or changes quickly. Handle risks and changes. Handle risks and changes quickly. Auditors want to see auditors always want to see proof, plans, reports, meeting notes, risk lists, and change records. I couldn't agree more. Maybe then, maybe 2 years later, maybe I need to maybe I will be responsible for PM role. I mean, MAN 3 role, man 3 role. This year, I took, PRM role in this year. However, 2 years later, maybe I need to take PM role for, man 3. So I need to review and memorize this whole process completely.
Yeah, that sounds like the right instinct, David. You already think like a project manager. You know to structure, you repeat key sentences until they stick. That's exactly how people build fluency and confidence. And that short line you loved, plan clearly, monitor regularly, react quickly, record everything, that's a great anchor. You can build every man 3 detail around those 4 verbs. When you imagine yourself taking that PM role 2 years later, what part of the process feels hardest to picture right now?
Mm, plan clearly. I think it should, I think plan clearly would be the most difficult agenda for me because I was, I was, I never took PM role ever as a responsible person. I was never responsible for PM role, so I'm not sure how can I make clear plan. How I'm not sure how to plan clearly for our project. I think that's one of the most important and difficult part for me.
Makes sense. Plan clearly sounds simple, but it's where most projects wobble. It's not just a big plan, it's the act of making the invisible visible, writing down what everyone assumes. When you picture clear planning, what part confuses you most? The technical steps like schedule and resources, or the communication part, making sure everyone understands the same goal?
GPT, let me think. So you mean plan clearly sounds so you mean each where most project wo wobble, W-O-B-B-L-E, wobble? I'm not sure what that word means. Anyway, anyway, writing down what everyone assumes. It's the, so you mean plan clearly means that the act of making the invisible visible, making the invisible visible, writing down what everyone assumes. How can I translate this sample sentence? How can I translate? Could you please explain that in Korean? The sentence, it's not just a big plan. It's the act of making the invisible visible, writing down what everyone assumed. I don't understand the word assumed in this context.
Sure, let's slow it down. That line means this. 계획을 세운다는 건 단순히 큰 계획표를 만드는 게 아니라 보이지 않는 걸 보이게 만드는 행동이에요. 사람들이 당연히 알겠지 하고 암묵적으로 생각하는 것들을 글로 적어내는 것이에요. 그리고 assume이라는 단어는 당연하다고 여기다, 추정하다, 짐작하다라는 뜻이에요. 예를 들어 everyone assumes the deadline is next month. 모두가 마감일이 다음 달이라고 당연히 생각한다. 그래서 writing down what everyone assumes는 모두가 당연하다고 생각하지만 아무도 명확히 적지 않은 것들을 문서로 남긴다는 뜻이에요.
Okay, okay. I got it. I get it. I think I understand that what you try to explain. Okay, I got the point. I couldn't agree more. That's the PM role. That's the PM role and plan clearly. So I think PM need to type very fast, in short, very clearly, because he have to make invisible visible, right? Writing down what everyone assumes. It's very important. It's really important. Plan clearly, monitor regularly, react clearly, react quickly, and record everything. That's the mainstream project management. GPT, I'm just wondering, how about the organization chart? PM need to write down organization chart when they want to make plan clearly.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of making the invisible visible. The organization chart is one of the first tools that turns vague teamwork into something real. It shows who's responsible for what, who reports to whom, and where decisions actually land. Without it, communication gets messy fast. But tell me, when you imagine that org chart, do you mean a formal one for audit evidence or more of a working one that shows daily roles inside your project team?
GPT, like we said, you share quick checklist. You told me I can tick this today. I can tick this today. Let me find, let me check. tick. 째깍거리다. 손가락을 꽂아. tick. Okay. You already share a quick checklist, and I think that checklist is very useful, very meaningful for me to make our project clear. You share scope and tailoring approved and baseline, and WBS lastly published and used risk register with trends and top 5 slide, KPI dashboard, CCB, link, lesson learned page started. Okay, okay. You share a lot of things with me. And I think I have to have checklist for my project, for monthly process. And could you please share me what what should I write down as a PM, as a product manager? I mean, you know, there are many there are many configurations for our project. Could you please share configuration list with me?
Good thinking, David. That's a very PM question. Configuration list is basically the inventory of all key project items that must stay under control, the stuff you must version, baseline, and track. For a Manput 3 project manager in Aspis, it usually includes things like project plan and schedule, requirement specs, test plans, change requests, design source code baselines, review minutes, risk logs, KPI dashboards, and release packages. Each one should have a clear owner, version, storage location, and baseline date. Would you like me to walk you through a simple example table, like how a PM could organize that configuration list in Excel?
I, I want to, I'm sorry. Sorry for my bad pronunciation. My bad. I want you to walk me through a simple example table, like how a PM could organize that configuration list in Excel. Could you make Excel file? Could you make configuration list in Excel file?
I can't make an actual Excel file here, but I can show you exactly how it should look so you can copy it straight into Excel. Think of these columns. Column A, item name, like project plan, requirement specification. Column B, description, purpose. Column C, owner, responsible person. Column D, version, revision. Column E, baseline date. Column F, storage path or location. Column G, change control method, for example, via CCB, auto version in SVN. Column H, remark, like audited, pending update, etc. Then each row would be one configuration item. For example, project plan defines schedule, milestones, resources. David Kim v1.2 Oct 10 2025, server project doc CCB approval, current baseline requirements spec, customer functional requirements R&D team, v3.1 Oct 05 2025 SVN CCB approval, link to sys.2. You can keep adding rows for test plan, risk register, KPI dashboard, meeting minutes, and so on. Do you want me to fill out a few more sample rows, maybe the full list for a typical Aspis project?
No. GPT, I'm just wondering, what's the baseline? What, could you please explain the baseline means in this context?
Yeah, that's a good one to stop on. In this context, a baseline means a frozen version of your document or data that everyone agrees is the official reference point. It's like saying, as of this date, this is our approved plan. After that, any change must go through a change control process, not silent edits. So if your project plan was baselined on October 10th, that exact version is what auditors or teammates should compare new updates against. Does that idea of a frozen reference point make sense?
So baseline means simply frozen version or snapshot version. Frozen version or snapshot version. Am I right?
Yes, that's right. A baseline is like a frozen or snapshot version, a fixed point in time that the team agrees to treat as the official version. After that, if someone wants to change anything, they don't just overwrite it. They create a new version through the change control process. So, in short, baseline equals approved snapshot of your document or design that everything else compares against.
So if someone want to want to his configuration file, if someone want to change something after the baseline, he must call up CCB. Am I right?
Almost. I think you meant CCB, not TCB. That stands for Change Control Board. So, yes, if someone wants to change anything after a baseline, they must raise a change request CR and get approval from the CCB. The CCB reviews what's changing, why it's needed, and how it affects cost, schedule, and quality before approving.
Oh my God, oh my God. So you mean if someone wants to change anything after a baseline, they must raise a change request, raise a change request CR, and get approval from the CCB. The CCB reviews what's changing, why it's needed, and how it affects cost, schedule, and quickly schedule and quality before approving. I think this sentence would be the most important sentence for today. So let me speak out loudly one more time to keep them that sample sentence in my mouse memory. Okay, okay. If someone wants to change anything after a baseline, they must raise a change request, CR, and get approval from the CCB. The CCB reviews what's changing, why it's needed, and how it affects cost, schedule, and quality before approving.
That's it. You nailed both the meaning and rhythm. The sentence carries the full logic of configuration control, perfect for audits or presentations. As you repeat it, try shifting tones slightly between raise a change request and get approval from the CCB. The pause helps the listener feel the process flow. Do you want me to help you tighten the pronunciation or stress pattern for that sentence next?
Would you mind saying that one more time, please?
Sure. Listen closely to the rhythm. If someone wants to change anything after a baseline, they must raise a change request, CR, and get approval from the CCB. The CCB reviews what's changing, why it's needed, and how it affects cost, schedule, and quality before approving. Notice the small pause after baseline and again before and get approval. It gives your words weight. Want me to break it down into smaller phrases for practice?
Okay, okay. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
All right, here's how you can break it down bit by bit. First part. If someone wants to change anything after a baseline, pause there, short breath. Next, they must raise a change request CR, a slight stress on raise and CR. Then, and get approval from the CCB, say this smoothly steady tone. Last part, the CCB reviews what's changing, why it's needed, and how it affects cost, schedule, and quality before approving. Keep your pace slower here with small pauses after changing, needed, and quality.
One more time. I'm sorry, GPT. One more time, please. I'm not sure. I understand.
No problem. Let's go slower. If someone wants to change anything after a baseline, pause for a breath, they must raise a change request, CR, pause again, and get approval from the CCB. Now a slightly longer pause. The CCB reviews what's changing, why it's needed, and how it affects cost, schedule, and quality before approving. Each comma is your little break. Keep your tone calm and clear, not rushed. Want me to mark where to stress the keywords next?
Okay, okay, okay. I got it, GPT. Could you please share over list? I mean, output list for the project? Does it depend on the company? Does it depend on the project?
Yeah, it depends on both. the company, and the project. Every project has its own risk landscape, shaped by what's being built, the maturity of the team, and how the company manages uncertainty. Still, most risks fall into a few broad families. Technical risk, design flaws, integration failures, unproven tech. Schedule risk, unrealistic timing, late inputs, bottlenecks. Resource risk, key people overloaded, skill gaps, tool issues. Supplier risk, late deliveries, poor quality, unclear specs. Change or scope risk, uncontrolled requests, unclear requirements. Compliance risk, missing ASPIS, IATF, or safety documentation. So yes, the specifics depend on your company's process, but the categories usually stay the same. Which type feels most real to your current project right now?
So you mean the specific depend, uh, the specifics depend on my company's process, but the categories usually stay the same. So you share nearly one, two, three, four, five, six categories. Technical, schedule, resource, supplier, change or scope, and compliance risk. Every project has its own risk landscape. Every project, every project has its own risk landscape shaped by what's being built, the maturity of the team, and how the company manages uncertainty. Still, most risks fall into a few broad families. Still, most risks fall into a few broad families. Technical risk, schedule risk, resource risk, supplier risk, change or scope risk, compliance risk. Am I right? It depends on both the company and the project. It depends on both. It depends on both. It depends on both the company and the project. Every project has its own risk landscape shaped by what's being built, the maturity of the team, and how the company manages uncertainty. Still, most risks fall into a few broad families: technical, schedule, resource, supplier, change or scope, and compliance risk.
Exactly right, David. You caught every word and rhythm perfectly. That paragraph now flows like something straight from a project management manual. And yeah, those six cover most of what auditors expect you to identify and track. The rest is just detail.
But, you know, I asked, I asked, the configuration file list example for a configuration file list, what we need to make for our project, as a automotive camera maker. Could you please share configuration file example for us? What if you are the member of our company employee?
David got you. Here's a ready to paste Excel template for a configuration list tailored to an automotive camera, HW plus FW SWU project under ASPIS. Copy the block into Excel. It will split into columns automatically. You can see the code in our conversation history. How to use simple, slow steps. 1. Paste into Excel. 2. Add a column status, e.g. draft, in review, baselined. 3. Add a column next action and date to keep momentum. 4. For each row, confirm owner, path, version, baseline, date. 5. When you baseline, remember your sentence. If someone wants to change anything after a baseline, they must raise a change request, CR, and get approval from the CCB. Quick tips: keep the list short but complete. It's okay to hide extra rows for small projects. Use consistent IDs, e.g. It helps traceability. Put the file list under CM control, sus.8, and review it weekly in your PM meeting. If you want, David, tell me your current project name, and I'll pre-fill the IDs, owners, and today's dates so it matches your reality.
Okay, I got it. I got it. I got it. To be honest, I don't fully understand what you're trying to explain. However, at this point, it's better to move on to the next part. I'm just wondering, GPT, listen, I have something to tell you. I'm just wondering, ASPICE is for only software project? How about hardware and mechanical engineering? Is the ASPICE good for that part? Electrical or mechanical part?
Good question, David. Strictly speaking, ASPICE was built for software development in automotive systems. But in real life, companies stretch it to cover hardware and mechanical areas too, especially when those parts are tightly linked with software, like camera modules or ECUs. So ASPICE can guide system-level integration and traceability, but for pure hardware or mechanical, teams usually blend it with other frameworks like IATF 6949 for manufacturing quality or VDA RGA V-model for design validation. In short, ASPICE gives structure to how teams plan, review, and verify, but you still need your hardware-specific standards beside it. Do you want me to show how ASPICE connects with IATF 16949 or hardware APP flow?
What's the relationship between ASPICE and IATF 16949?
Nice one. So ASPICE and IATF 16949 sit side by side, not on top of each other. Think of IATF 16949 as the factory and quality system standard. It defines what a company must have to ensure consistent production and quality control. Meanwhile, ASPICE lives in the engineering world. It defines how development teams plan, design, and verify automotive software and systems. Both share the same spirit: process discipline, traceability, and continuous improvement. IATF checks the whole organization, like supplier control, production lines, calibration, PFMEA. ASPICE checks the development process, like requirements, coding, testing, configuration, and problem solving. So in short, IATF 16949 equals quality management system for manufacturing. ASPICE equals process model for systems software development. Would it help if I showed how the two overlap in real camera module projects, like where ASPICE's System 5 or SUP.9 links to IATF's control plan or 8D process?
So you mean ASPICE and IATF 16949 sit side by side, not on top of each other, not on top of each other, sit side by side. Sit, they sit, they sit. ASPICE and IATF 16949 sit side by side, not on top of each other. Think of IATF 16949 as the factory and quality system standard. It defines what a company must have to ensure consistent production and quality control. Meanwhile, ASPICE lives in the engineering world. It defines how development teams plan, design, and verify automotive software and systems. Both share the same spirit: process discipline, traceability, and continuous improvement. both share the same spirit: process discipline, traceability, and continuous improvement. IATF checks the whole organization, like supplier control, production lines, calibration, PFMEA. HSPICE checks the developed process, like requirements, coding, testing, configuration, and problem solving. So in short, IATF 6949 equals quality management system for manufacturing. HSPICE equals process model for system software development.
That's it, David. You've got the structure and meaning exactly right. Just a few pronunciation and spelling tweaks. It's ASPIS, A Spice, and IATF 6949, each letter separate. So when you say it out loud, ASPIS and IATF 16949 sit side by side, not on top of each other. Then the rest flows perfectly. Do you want to practice saying that whole paragraph again in clear, natural English rhythm?
How many times have I told you this is my speaking practice station? So let me speak as much as I can possible. Let's move activity. It's enough. I think it's enough. It's enough for today. So move on to the next part. My repetition part. Let's move on to the next one. How about this one? Listen, GPT. How about this one? That sounds great. 10 days is a serious break. 10 days is a serious break. Did you mostly stay home and relax, or did you go somewhere special during the holiday? This sample sentence was I inspired for I inspired with this sample sentence yesterday, so I want to speak out loudly one more time.
Go for it. Take it slow and enjoy the sound of it. That sounds great. 10 days is a serious break. Did you mostly stay home and relax, or did you go somewhere special during the holiday? Nice rhythm there. Calm, conversational.
Calm conversation? What does it mean? Calm conversation? What does it mean?
It means the sentence sounds natural and easy, like two people just chatting, not like a formal speech or a script. Calm means your tone is relaxed, not rushed. Conversational means it feels like real conversation, the way people actually talk. So calm conversational English is smooth, friendly, and clear. The
I got it. I got it. Let's move to the next one. I don't remember exactly when it was. I don't remember exactly when it was. I think I can use this sample sentence when I want to explain, when I want to tell my opinion. I'm not sure. I don't understand. I don't remember exactly when it was. I don't remember exactly what, when, I don't remember exactly when that happened.
Yeah, both are right, just a little different in tone. I don't remember exactly when it was sounds softer, like casual reflection. I don't remember exactly when that happened feels a bit more specific, like you're talking about a particular event. You can use either, depends on how concrete the moment is in your mind. Want to practice switching between them in a short story?
No. Let's move to the next one. I can't recall exactly when. I don't quite remember when it was. I don't quite remember. I don't quite remember when it was. How about this one?
That one works nicely too. I don't quite remember when it was. Sounds polite and a little thoughtful. Something you might say in a meeting when you're trying to be accurate, but not too firm. Quite softens it. It shows you're unsure without sounding careless. Do you want to hear a few other gentle ways to say the same thing?
No, no, no. How about this one? He declined all of my offers. He declined. He refused all of my suggestions. He declined all of my suggestions. He declined all of my suggestions. He declined. He always declined all of my suggestions. How about this one?
That works fine, though in everyday English, people more often say, he rejected or he turned down my suggestions. Declined sounds polite or formal, like something in a report or email. Turned down sounds natural in conversation. So you might say, he always turned down my suggestions if you want it to sound more real world.
He always turned down my suggestions. He always turned down my suggestions.
Perfect, and just one small detail. Use the plural when you mean more than one idea. He always turned down my suggestions. The way you said it has good rhythm, though. Want to try it once with that plural form?
He always turned down my suggestions.
Nice and clear. That means it already happened, a past action. If you want to sound a little more neutral, you could also say, he has already turned down my suggestions. It adds a gentle sense of still relevant now. Do you want to practice the difference between turned down and rejected?
He already turned down all of my suggestions.
Yeah, that's solid English, smooth and direct. If you want it to sound a bit more natural in everyday speech, you could add have.
Okay, okay. I have to go. GPT, see you next time. It was a really meaningful time for my English study. See you next time. Bye for now.
Got it, David? You showed real focus today, especially through all that Aspis talk and those pronunciation rounds. Safe day ahead, and we'll pick it up next time right where you left off.
Okay, bye for now.